Here we are, back in the workshop. 20 days and 21 hours to go. Counted down, it's coming together lovely, but keen-eyed of you will notice that this is not the Africa twin wheel. So there was a little bit of an issue with brake disc offset between the two calipers, and as a result I did manage to get hold of a Tiger 800 front wheel for a very reasonable price. So the tyre has been swapped over. It looked like it was going to be a thing to stop the build, to be honest. I didn't know I've made that video, but it won't be going live, expressing that we would be going on the Triumph, the Thruxton instead of the Scrambler. But looks like we might be back on track. No promises, but we're going to give it a go. So this wheel, particularly ropey, but I've cleaned it up. It's come out pretty well. Got the tyre on, and I'm about to fit the brake discs. So you just see me cleaning the bolts up, I think, and let's get the brake disc fitted. So I was going to quickly fast track this, but there's a couple of points I was just thinking about while I was fitting up with the brake disc that I just wanted to cover. Just things I've seen in other videos and in my working life that I've seen people do. So the first one is an overabundance of Loctite. You don't need to drench the bolts, you just need to cover a few threads. The gap between the threads, if it's a good tapped hole and a good bolt, the gap is very minimal, so a small amount of Loctite will spread across those threads like you wouldn't believe. So an excess will just make life difficult further on down the road. And the other thing is torque wrenches. So there's a lot of people where they are holding on to the ratchet end of a torque wrench, and it doesn't make a massive amount of difference, but you are impacting the accuracy of your torque wrench. If you use a torque wrench and you want to tighten up a bolt to a specified torque, number one, you want to make sure that your torque wrench is calibrated and get that checked regularly. Number two, if you're hanging on to the end of that, any resistance you put in changes the torque figure that you're actually tightening up to. Now it will be minute, and it probably will be within tolerance, because most torque figures are plus or minus 2 to 5 millimeters, so you probably won't make that great a difference. But in the event of safety critical components, who wants to take that risk? If you get the technique down and have good fitting tools that fit the bolts properly, you shouldn't have that issue. But yeah, I just wanted to cover that. So I'm just going to put the bolts in for this last brake disc, and then we should be ready to put it in the bike. My impact gun, very slowly snug them down. Because something else I've seen recently is a brake disc being tightened up, and they gun down with the torque wrench till it's flat, and a few rattles of the gun. But then the torque wrench doesn't do anything. If it clicks off as soon as you try to turn it, then you don't know you're actually up to a torque. So as you can see there, that moved a touch. So what we know there is we're now at the torque figure. If you rattle them down with a gun and then torque them up, but the bolt doesn't actually move when you torque it, then you're probably actually over your specified torque figure. Just things to keep in mind. I often do instruction or kind of preaching on how to put things together, but I see it quite a bit lately, and I would have done that on my apprenticeship. The guys teaching me would have absolutely flipped the earth. that simple. The other thing I see is people double clicking the torque wrenches. That's not best practice either. But that is brake disc on, in place and ready for the wheel to go on. As if by magic, we have transported to the next day and the spacers have arrived. So let's get the axle greased up, the bearings, the spacers greased up, and get this front wheel fitted. This is an exciting day. Let's crack on. And there we have it, folks. We have a front wheel and we have front brakes. She's pushing along now. Wiring's done. That video is going to come out later. I haven't had a chance to edit that yet, but I want to get moving and keep you guys up to date with the build. Given that there's only 3 weeks left. Less than 3 weeks left. But yeah, so front wheels in, brakes are bled. I'm just doing the final obligatory tyre lever back, overnight bleed, and then she should be good to go. But this is all fitted up, got new pads in there, discs are on, all torqued up, wheels in, spins nice and free, clears the mud guard, everything's pretty good. So yeah, no real dramas there. So to allude to the fact that I thought we weren't going to make the deadline, I'm still not 100% sure, but turns out the spacing for the Africa Twin discs, even with the correction on the brackets, wasn't enough, and they weren't going to fit. So if it does decide to go down that route, you may need a little bit more work there. And I happened to come across an XL 800 Tiger front wheel for a very good price. So it was just less hassle and a faster fix. Plus now the front rim, that's just back rim. At some point, this isn't the tidiest wheel, so at some point I probably will have this relaced up, but it's cleaned up for now, and we'll see how we go on. I'll get the life out of this tyre first at least anyway. But yeah, so I've got that. The only other thing is those eagle-eyed people, we now have front indicators. I ordered these as a pair. They are quite bright actually. So I need a LED relay, but they are reasonably bright. But I wanted a pair. You can only buy them in pairs, and I thought I'd order a pair first and see if they were any good before I order them for the back as well. There's a surprise coming in this series. Hopefully it will arrive before the deadline for the trip across the Peak District that I'm not aiming for. But yeah, so when that turns up, that'll all be unveiled. We'll do a big unboxing for that. Yeah, and we'll attempt to get that fitted to the bike. That has driven a decision on the indicator. So I was originally going to mount the indicators in the back of the frame, but looking like that's not going to be possible now. So in terms of things that are outstanding, got the swing arm modification to do, which there's a bit of a backlog in the machine shop, so that's looking not sure at the moment. That's another thing that potentially could jeopardise getting this done, but we'll keep going and we'll find out. Yeah, so we've got the swing arm to do, we've got the indicators at the back, the tail tidy, and number plate mount. Chain has arrived, which is over there. I need to fit the foot pegs, fit the rear brake, and chain guard. Oh, I need side stand as well, because the suspension's taller. But yeah, not a big list, and not much left to purchase. But yeah, let's see how we get on. Thank you for joining me with this one, guys. Feel like I waffled a little bit for the end, but trying to clear up kind of where we're at. But it's looking, I think, particularly good, and I'm very happy with it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Really enjoy reading your comments. Loads of people subscribing at the moment, which is very encouraging. If you want to head over to Instagram, I'm doing more regular updates there. I'm trying to get these out as fast as I can. I want to do every other day or every 3 days, or whatever I can do basically, but the editing really slows it down. But if you get over onto Instagram, you'll see it pretty much as it's happening. So yeah, other than that, click like, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy, guys.